Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. Today's the day we will learn about the fate of the controversial Northern Gateway Pipeline. After more than a year of hearings, a federal review panel will reveal its decision this afternoon. The $5.5 billion pipeline would carry bitumen from Alberta's oil sands to the BC coast. Environmental groups and several First Nations have opposed the Enbridge project. The BC government also said it does not support the pipeline as proposed.
If the process works the way that it should, I would anticipate a rejection of the pipeline or something that is basically the equivalent of the rejection of the pipeline, conditions that are so strenuous that basically the company can't move forward with the project.
No matter what the review panel recommends, the federal government will have the final say on whether the pipeline can go ahead. Good news continues for commuters who use Highway 1 as even more lanes will be up and running this morning. Another eastbound lane from Kensington to Brunette will officially open to traffic today. It's the third portion of Highway 1 to fully open this week. Tomorrow, all westbound lanes from Brunette through the Burnaby Lake stretch to Kensington are scheduled to get up and running. Just in time for possible snowfall. A snowfall warning has been issued for Metro Vancouver. Russell Kate says up to 2 centimeters of snow is in the forecast for this evening, which means it could be a busy shift for road crews across the Lower Mainland. But the National Works Yard is ready. There's roughly 1,000 tons of salt and a fleet of 54 vehicles to tackle the white stuff if it arrives. Vancouver City Council has approved plans to send openly gay Councillor Tim Stevenson to the 2014 Olympics in Sochi, and the city, rather than developers, will be footing the bill for his expenses. Councillors decided against accepting donations for Stevenson's trip, even though the city manager said there was no conflict of interest. He will be going to Russia, which has anti-gay laws, to advocate for pride houses and human rights in future Olympic Games. As deputy mayor, he will urge the International Olympic Committee to write sexual orientation into their charter.
We're saying to the IOC, when a city bids, tell them that they have to include a pride house. They have to include a safe place for LGBTQ athletes and friends and family. And that's part of their bid, so that we'll never have another Sochi where our government says, no, we're not having it.
It's an interesting discussion going on our Facebook page, and we want to hear from you. Do you support a taxpayer-funded trip to Sochi for our deputy mayor? Comment, and we will share those comments coming up in just a little bit. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Stephen Harper has joined U.S. President Barack Obama in announcing he will not be attending the Sochi Olympics. The moves have prompted speculation of an international snub over Russia's gay rights record. Harper has attended only one Olympics since taking office, the 2010 Vancouver Games, of course. The American delegation for the Olympic ceremonies will include 2 openly gay athletes. In other news this morning, a notorious convicted pedophile is now being accused of viewing child pornography. Christopher Neal left Richmond Court after making his latest appearance before a judge. The Crown says Neal's laptop computer had child pornography on it. Neal isn't even supposed to be on the internet. He's pleaded guilty to breaking his living conditions, but denies looking at child porn. Neal served 5 years in a Thailand jail for sexually assaulting 2 children there.
Apart from the computer thing, which I mean, you'll hear about the reasons for that. He's writing his memoirs, as I understand, and you'll hear about that in sentencing. But I don't think so. He reports frequently. He's in a residence that has no children around, and so I don't think the public needs to be concerned at all.
Neal is originally from Maple Ridge and traveled to Asia to teach English. He will be sentenced in the new year. Police have confirmed Surrey's 24th murder of the year while identifying the victim. The body of a 23-year-old man was found down an embankment on Tuesday. Police say he was involved in criminal activity and believe his death was targeted. They're looking for a motive as well as the victim's vehicle, which remains missing. It's a blue 2008 Chrysler Sebring. Still no word on the condition of a man badly beaten in New Westminster. He was found Tuesday night around 23rd Street and 7th Avenue. Homicide investigators took over the case because the victim wasn't expected to survive. An arrest has been made.